heard of Little Free Library? Oh, good. How many people have a Little Free Library in their neighborhood? I want to show you something. That's fantastic. There's a gentleman that is responsible for 18 in Minneapolis. Raise your hand. There you go. That's cool. What today I'd like to talk to you about is Little Free Library, a little bit how it started and really where we're going with it. And I feel very honored to be here. I feel that I represent the thousands of stewards that have Little Free Libraries and the millions of people that visit little libraries every single day. So I feel I'm very fortunate to represent them. As they built the first one. It's in Hudson, Wisconsin. And that little library is being courted. The Historical Society in Wisconsin is asked to put it in Madison as a cultural icon. And I kind of jokingly said, I'm going to see what the Smithsonian says. and 2 weeks later, I got a call from the Smithsonian. And the Smithsonian, it was the magazine though, but I thought it was a hoot. And then there's rumblings that the Library of Congress wants it. So that's pretty cool. So there it is. It was built out of an old garage door and out of recycled materials. And I built that in honor of Mom, okay? And people will say to me, what is Little Free Library all about? And I'm always thinking about it. And I really think Little Free Library is a poem. It's a beautiful poem about the better side of humanity that is practiced every day by the stewards and the people that use Little Free Library. It's an awakening of a community. It's an opening of the door. It's a conversation that people have. We constantly hear, I talk to more people in 5 to 7 days than I've talked to in 30 years. I open up conversations with neighbors that I've never had. An immigrant couple contacted us and said, out of Seattle, I've lived here for 3 years, we don't know anybody. In one weekend with a Little Free Library, we know everyone. People tell us that it's a porch that extends to the sidewalk. They tell us it's books that are captured in the dark, dank, dusty basement. That was a professor, by the way, that said that. And brings the books out to dance for the community once again. So it's a pretty magical thing. I built this one for my mom. She passed away. I have to show you this one. I built this one for my dad, right? This is our cafe door from our house. This is great-grandma Christine's quilting rack. This is my dad's last words he said before he died. And when I put this up, my wife knocked the box over and out came tumbling a music box. This is a music box. And if you could catch this music box, it'll make you cry, I promise. Listen what it says. To dream the impossible dream. Now that's cool. So 75% of the people make their own libraries. 25% of them buy them from us. We're in 50 countries. We're all around the world. 50 states, 60 countries. I'll get that right. That's Mom. Graduation picture, North St. Paul. Mom was magic. She had that kind of personality where she made you feel better about yourself. She always read books, and we always had kids in the house that she was tutoring. She made you feel special. And when she died, I gave out a necklace that said, Todd Bol, the dancing spirit, 1927 through. And I felt that, like a Sioux Indian saying is, no one really goes or dies until all they know is past. So I felt Mom was always out there dancing, and that's why I built the library. 60 countries. Antarctica to the Yukon. We're in all throughout Africa. We have a woman that called me up one day and she said, I put 100 of them in Ukraine. We have a woman that's building 1,000 of them in India. We have champions in Pakistan, and we have designer contests in Italy. We have really cool libraries. So we're hitting Rome. And we have Italian designers that put together libraries. We have architectural groups in the Twin Cities and in California and Louisiana that are designing and building Little Free Libraries. We started out humbly. I started out on my deck I didn't have a place to build them. And when I was first building my libraries back in 2011, we were approached by Walmart. They wanted to buy libraries from us, and I didn't even have an enclosed container, and I maybe had $40 in assets, you know, in my studio, but we didn't sell them to Walmart. We decided to stay and go the path that we're doing. But we've been in the media over 3,000 times. We're literally in the media every day, and the cool part is we kind of make heroes all over the country. I got a call from a woman, Lynn, Grandma Lynn in Eau Claire, and she said, "Oh my God, it's the happiest day of my life." I said, "What happened?" She says, "It's day after Halloween." She said, "The kids paid more attention to the little libraries than they did candy. Little free libraries are better than candy." But she said, "That's not it." She said, "My granddaughter ran down the street waving a book in the air," marvelous that is, and said, "Grandma and Grandpa are heroes. Grandma and Grandpa are heroes. They have a little free library." And I thought, that's great. And so we're getting people calling us all over the world, telling us they're local heroes because they put one up in their neighborhood and they're bringing their neighborhood together. Now, one of the accolades that we just absolutely giggle at every time we think about it, and every time I tell the story, my kids just groan. We were in 50 Surprising Reasons We Love America. Bruce Springsteen, catch it? The Boss, number 50. And if you can read our billionaire, Bill Gates, number 25. And at the heel of sliced bread, Little Free Library, we beat him. We beat the Boss. And so I just love that, you know, and I'm hoping someday I meet Bill Gates and I'm going to ask him if he would like to sell, I could sell my position and he could maybe buy it. Because we could certainly use the bread, right? Yeah, okay. All right, next. We've been in, like I said, media across the globe. We've been told that we're a global sensation by the New York Times. And by the way, when we say we, it's the stewards. It's the people that use the library. It's the whole movement of Little Free Library that is the heroes. We just happen to be fortunate enough to be the spokesman. And we've been told we're the largest micro-lending system in the world, and we've also been told we're the largest barter network because we exchange books and so on. We've been told we're a grassroots micro-lending system. We've also been told that we are the newest media exchange system in the world, which I love. I get a kick out of that. And it's like saying walking is the newest transportation. I just love that. And we're also the largest barter network in the world, so I like that too. But what I love most of all, if you catch it up there, right up there it says, "It has turned strangers into friends and sometimes impersonal neighborhood into a community. It has become a mini town square." Okay, speaking of mini town squares, this is a new library that we will be launching in 2 weeks. All right, this new little library that's been put together by a variety of organizations is a recipe, seed, and idea exchange. And it will be loaded with seeds from the Seed Savers, which is a seed bank, cards of recipes to exchange, and good ideas. And we have a variety of people that are embrace this, and eventually, secret be told, we will have a web connection that has connections to do tool exchanges, recipe exchanges, potlucks, and a whole variety of things that we're moving forward in the technology. Sorry about that. All right, next. Some examples of where we've been seen around the world. One week we're in the New York Times, the LA Times, the Seattle Times, and the India Times. That's it. That's what Little Free Library is all about. The steward that gets excited, the person that gets involved. We do not understand it yet. We're trying to figure it out, but it seems to be a primal instinct that we need to connect, that we need to be a part of each other. It brings neighborhoods closer together. It minimizes the digital divide that keeps us apart. As I'm trying to understand what really goes on with Little Free Library, a guy came up to me about 2 weeks ago and he said, "I get it. I know what Little Free Libraries are all about." He said, "It's air conditioning." And I said, "Okay, now help me with that." He said, "When we were kids, we were on the porch, we played together, the parents sat out there, the kids sat out there, we played back and forth. We were a tight-knit community. Then we got air conditioning. Then we went on inside, we shut the doors, we shut the windows, we turned on the TV. It's all downhill from there. And so most of you that are my age, you understand that. And it's changed. A friend of mine says, is Facebook a success? Is it saying that 500 million people connecting on Facebook, is that a success? Or is that really a cry that we want to network, we want to connect, and we want to be close to each other? And don't we really want to be close to each other face to face? So Little Free Library has been told, I've been told many times, is Facebook with a face. As I mentioned earlier, we've met more people in 5 to 7 days than 20 to 30 years. All the time we're here, we're no longer strangers. Impact, we're unique, we're local, we're hyper-local, we're regional, we're global. In Minnesota, there were 5 Little Free Libraries in September of 2011. 2 years later, there were 1,300. Okay, we've had that kind of growth. And what we're trying to do, and here's the key with Little Free Library today, we're trying to take that energy of popping up everywhere, that grassroots energy, and trying to create a trunk to it. We're trying to take that positive influence and do good things socially. Here's our 4 key things we're doing. 1, books around the block. We're trying to put books in kids' hands wherever they may be. We tested it in Minneapolis. We brought in 30 Little Free Libraries working with the school system. Attorneys put in 40. We had several corporations put in 25. We had the University of Minnesota put some in. 7 Rotaries got together, and all of a sudden we have north of 100 Little Free Libraries. We have a Books Around the Block program right here. We're launching. We have how-to books with Books Around the Block. We've got 12 other cities across the United States: Orlando, Miami, Houston, Calgary, all stepping up to do Books Around the Block. Friends Through the Years, a program that has been funded by AARP. It's designed to bring generations together, 1 book at a time. We give Little Free Libraries away to people that have 25 meaningful visits with someone of the different generation. We're working with the Wilder Foundation, Lutheran Social Services, Little Brothers of the Poor, Friends of the Elderly, a variety of organizations. Small towns, 11,000 small towns across America, if you can believe it, that do not have public access to books at all. So we're trying to put a Little Free Library in every small town. Rotary International is interested in picking up the charge by trying to solve the problem in every county. St. Croix County, where I live, is trying to put a Little Free Library in every town in St. Croix County that doesn't have one, and then we're going to broadcast the model throughout the country to see if we can get it done everywhere. Good Global Neighbors, our most ambitious task. There's 70 libraries in Ghana. There's multiple ones in Africa. We're trying to connect the classrooms from Books Around the Block to classrooms overseas, Skype, Facebook, YouTube, creative writing, digital photography, bringing people together under the philosophy that if you know each other, that's the greatest chance we have of peace. Specialty libraries. In the program, right? You'll see my picture, and there's 2 dogs in there. And we just found out our Shelby has got cancer. She's dying this year. And we are going to create a Little Free Library for animals to celebrate the joy of animals. And we already have multiple people that are stepping up that want to do that. We are creating libraries for ball teams around the country that read books, put a QR code on a library, sign the books, and put them in the libraries for kids to read, for mothers to read, for families to share. So we're developing libraries that are for improving health literacy, financial literacy. What we see Little Free Library oftentimes as is a new medium, a new canvas where nonprofits step up and start to use it to improve the community, build healthcare, build health literacy, and use it as a way to reach neighborhoods. Books Around the Block is our key program that we're trying to do. It's just to get books in the hands of kids wherever they may be. And we've got many supporters, many publishers, many librarians. And by the way, I failed to mention that our single biggest supporter and biggest customer is the libraries themselves and librarians. All around the country, all around the world, they're the ones that are really driving Little Free Library in the neighborhoods, in their communities. What studies show is that basically you need books in kids' hands. Just 20 books in kids' hands will cause them to read 2.4 more years than kids that do not. The Los Angeles Police Department uses Little Free Libraries to prevent crime. They said 85% of the juvenile delinquents that go before the court system are functionally illiterate. And if they can just get them to read, they'll have the confidence to step ahead. And it seems to me, I'm now actually trying to figure out how to close that gap. Pilot test in Minneapolis, I spoke about it. I'm hoping that we continue it elsewhere. I want to know, after this presentation I've made, how many more people are going to put a Little Free Library in their neighborhood? Come on. Thank you. I appreciate it very much.